I mean, I just think they were aggressive this game. They're a little bit of a physical team too. They're just a good team, and so we were kind of expecting a little bit more of like some doubles here and there. So I was kind of more ready to kind of kick out, and then just throughout the game, kind of realized they weren't doing it. So, yeah.
Marco, you get a double-double tonight. I mean, obviously you were able to get in there, but the game kind of had its moments in that first half. It just kind of didn't feel like you guys got in the rhythm. What changed in the second half that you and the rest of your team were able to be effective?
Just really coach's speech to us in the locker room. I feel like in the first half, again, they were in that zone the whole time, and instead of playing like our basketball, we were kind of letting them dictate just like mainly everything. And one really hurt us that first half. 1 in 5. So yeah, coach just really got on us about getting to them. So that's really changed things.
Just in general, when a team throws a zone at you, why is it that offenses can get flustered when they see a zone out there?
I mean, I feel like a lot of teams in college like kind of just we don't run zones much, besides like maybe Washington or something like that. And I just it's like they'll throw it in here and there, but I just think it just throws a loop, and I just think sometimes it's just a little lack of communication sometimes between us out on the court of like, hey, this is what we're in now. So we just kind of like once they're in zone, just kind of realizing, okay, this is what we gotta do now. But I just think it's gotta have better communication when it happens.
What's changed over the last 5 games that you guys are playing at this higher level now?
I really just think, we go back to the Sam Houston State game a lot and how we lost that game. And the biggest thing was the physicality. And I know that I've told y'all, like, in the past, like the summer workouts, off-season workouts, that was the biggest thing that we improved on, with the new roster that we have now. So just understanding that, like, we locked in, we talked within ourselves that, hey, like, we could be some bullies at the end of the day. So that's what, that's the new mindset that we kind of have.
Right, and you guys didn't panic when they went on the big run, took the lead. Is the confidence, where would you say it is right now with this team and your ability to respond that way?
I mean, I would say we've always been kind of confident in ourselves. We know what we're capable of, and we know what we bring each day. So yeah, it's you gotta have a little edge to you still. We can't get complacent with some of the success we have been having. We just gotta take each game, like our record 0-0, their record 0-0, and we just gotta come out ready to compete.
Marco, you were the guy that knocked down shots in that first half when UTSA was kind of making that run and making it tight. What is it about you where you kind of take that leadership role to be that guy that your teammates look to take those shots and in those tougher situations, in those tightly contested situations?
I just think that, this group, we all believe that, we all trust each other. So we all know that the 5 guys that are in, we could all do something with the ball. And I feel like we do a great job of sharing the ball. Like we had 20 assists tonight. And so, in the first half, the ball just kept coming to me. And I was open, so it was just good shots. And that's what happened.
Brandon, you grew up around the Utah-BYU rivalry. You've now played in it a few times. Is it just another game, or does it feel like something more than that?
I try to treat it as another game, but it's really not. It's always just it's an exciting game. With these, rivalry games. It's that both teams are about to bring their best each game. And BYU's a good team, have some good wins. I think they just beat Creighton. So we're gonna have some scout to do and some preparation. So we're ready to go in and just compete, but we're gonna prepare like it's another game.
Marco, do you wish that game was tomorrow with how well you guys are playing, or think it comes at a good time?
Yeah, I think it comes at a good time. 33 minutes does a lot to the bones, so I feel like I need some good rest.
I mean, do you guys feel like you're hitting your stride now, especially as you're getting into conference play, or where do you see your potential this season?
I just think we're doing a good job. I feel like I always tell you this about just staying in the moment and just understanding that, we could play much better and there's much more to still improve on. And we are improving, I feel like, each and every game. So, yeah, if we just continue to do that, then, the sky's the limit for us.
Well, it's a good win for the Utes. Kind of an uneven game in the first half, especially. I thought we had a good start, kind of built our lead. Had a lot of really clean looks early, missed some wide open ones. And it almost felt, it just felt like we could get a lot of different things. And then I thought we had a couple bad lineups. Obviously, to their credit, they're well coached. And they have a lot of weapons out there. And you saw their lead guard, what he can do. And he obviously really ran the first half. Mador, goes 6 for 7 from the free throw line. I think he had 15 at halftime. And we just were kind of all over the map with him. Marco did a really good job on him in the second half. We made some changes that way with our lineup, or with our matchups. And then we were able to kind of steady the ship and go into halftime with some momentum. And then I love the first 12 minutes or so of our first half. I thought we had a great look to us. I thought we were really clicking and playing connected on both ends, played with a lot more urgency. After the first 5-6 minutes, I just thought we really didn't have the urgency that we typically have on the defensive end of the floor, and they got going and they hit some tough shots. But you see the ball go in the hole, it gets contagious that way, and so give them credit for that. But like I said, to start second half, man, our starting five and Steph and Caba, I thought those guys really gave us great minutes. BC had such a great look to him. I told our guys, I think it was the second media timeout, man, you guys have, this is the team we know, right? They had a look to us with their body language, with their eyes. They just had that look with a competitive spirit. And certainly BC and Marco led the way that way, just with their mentality. And BC was aggressive. He was chasing down rebounds. He was playing with physicality. And he had a couple of tough and ones in there. And he just had that look, and then Marco just kind of did everything. I mean, he guards the guy that was really, really hurting us, and he gets 16 and 10 with 4 assists. Raleigh, knocking on the door with a triple-double. And then, obviously, Gabe in that second half was really, really aggressive and was very much in attack mode. I don't know what he got in the second half, but he had that run where he was just aggressive to the rim. Thought we heard him in transition. So we had 91 points and only made 5 threes. So, I think that says something. And John just told me it's the first time since 1920. And I'm a history guy. So when he said 1920, I was like, whoa, that gets my attention. That's 102 years.
I'm going to stop you right here.
Oh.
No, I meant 1920 as in the 2019-20 season.
Oh, jeez. Well, never mind. Forget the quote. What do you got? Cut it out, or what are you doing? You said 1920. I'm like, oh my gosh, 1920? It can't be right. So anyway, okay, forget that. I was like, wow, that's outstanding. But at the end of the day, we shot 52%, 20 assists, 51 to 24 on the glass. So those are good numbers. So anyway, we need to be better. We need to be sharper. It's going to be a tough game, with finals week, and then obviously getting ready to play BYU. And, that's always one I think both fan bases and both programs are always amped up and geared up for. So got the dub, took care of business, and on to the next.
Greg, a big knock on Brandon early in his career is that he was not willing to be aggressive. How much have you seen him grow from that standpoint from the time you got here to now?
Well, he's definitely grown since the time I got here. I mean, I know what the rap, I guess you could say, on him, and obviously I can't speak to that because I didn't see Utah play his freshman and his sophomore year. What I will say is Brandon, since we've been coaching him, is a high achiever. He works very hard on his game. He gets in the weight room now. He loves to lift, and he gets that whole picture, which you should your fourth year, right? I love how he gets his nose dirty. I thought tonight he was very aggressive and physical and to the rim. And then some of those offensive rebounds he had, I mean, I don't know what he ended up with. 4 of them. That's obviously a very good number. Some of those, he got a little bit lucky, I think, on one, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. So they were physical, and they were mixing it up, and he was taking some blows, I thought. But he got the and one, maybe 2 and ones off of just being aggressive to the rim, and we need that. 10 for 14 from the field, 6 for 7 from the field for 27 and 8. And then 4 block shots, and he's become a much better rim protector this year than he was even a year ago. And so that piece of his game, I feel like, is really elevating. And then the last part, Josh, is his rebounding numbers have gone up. Now, maybe his minutes have gone up, but he is rebounding the ball. He rebounded it pretty well last year, but that's where I think he's really made a big jump is his rebounding numbers from his sophomore year to his junior and senior year. And I think that's toughness.
There was a play where he made a play like that, a physical play. You literally came out on the court to congratulate him.
Well, those kind of plays set the tone, right? And BC's become much more of a tone setter, making those kind of plays. Those plays energize the team. Those plays energize a fan base, right? They energize your crowd, and that's what we're about, right? That needs to be our mentality every night. Put on your hard hat and go to work. You got to work. You got to earn things in life. You got to earn things on the floor. Like, it doesn't just happen. And that's where I'm really like, he's come a long way in that respect. But I mean, Marco had a couple of those plays. I single out those two guys as veteran. But I mean, that tip dunk that Marco missed, but then the other offensive rebound on the baseline where he got it, they just swarmed up. He kicked it out to Raleigh. I think it was Raleigh missed the three, but that was an unbelievable offensive rebound. And so those are certainly, got to have some talent to do that, but you got to have a mindset to do that.
Gabe left the game early into the locker room. Were you able to update us on kind of his status?
I'm not. I mean, I don't think it's too serious, but obviously it's just one of those things where he'll do his treatment or whatever tonight and check in with Trev tomorrow and just see how it all plays out. But, I said, Gabe, you all right? He goes, yep. So hopefully that's a good sign.
You've obviously been a part of the BYU series on two different ends, obviously, but what does this game mean to you? I mean, I know some of the players have grown up here. It's hard not to look forward to that game. What does it mean to you personally?
Well, I think anytime you're in the rivalry game, right? I mean, and it's a great game. We'll always play that game. I think it's a great game for both fan bases, and it's when everybody kind of circles on their calendar. And it's obviously the kids that are from Utah, our guys that are from Utah in both programs. I think that's always a game, whether football, basketball, whatever sport. It's always a big thing, right? And I think that's always one where you throw all the records out the window. None of that crap matters. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be a level of competitive greatness by both teams. And, specifically for the Utah kids, I think that's a game you really dream about. You dream about playing for the Utes, or you dream about playing for BYU or whatever, and then you dream about playing in this game. And any type of rivalry game I've ever been associated with, you just always expect to see both teams' best foot put forward. They're well coached. They're very talented. I know some games haven't gone the way they wanted it to go, but it's easy to see watching them, and I've seen them play a few games now. Like, they are a talented team, and obviously coming off the best win of the year on a neutral court game against a top 25 opponent in Creighton.
Great.
Big picture question here.
Yeah.
You got your 9th win of the season tonight. You had 11 last year. Just what does it say about your program, the growth, the development, the identity that you've kind of found as a basketball squad?
Yeah, I'm excited with our team. I've been excited about this team from day one. Man, we had a great summer. I think the first time we met, you could probably sense the excitement that I had, but you could just feel the juice within our group, and we've gotten a lot better. To where we end up, I don't know. Our just thing is, let's just be our best daily, and whatever happens, happens. And it's a fun group to be around. It's a group that truly has an attitude that craves improvement. It's easy to see and feel when you watch us play, with the exception of some moments tonight. But we do. We have a lot. I love where we're trending. I don't know if our roster is perfect, but I do really like our roster, and I think we have a lot of versatility within our lineup. I think we have some depth within our lineup. I think there's some guys that aren't playing a whole lot that still might, if they keep improving the way I think they can, are going to still impact our program in a great way. So we're just still climbing. I'm really excited. We're not where we need to be, but we're getting closer, and that's what's exciting. It's December 13th, so January, February. We have 2.5 months guaranteed. Hopefully, if we do it right, we have even longer. But I love where our program is trending, and it's a great group, man. It's a group that our fans can support. I think our style of play is fun to watch. I think they can appreciate how hard these guys work. And then if they ever had a chance to build a relationship with these guys, man, they are phenomenal people. I'm not saying we're perfect. It's not a utopia. They certainly weren't perfect at times today in some of those timeouts. But it's an exciting group. And when you compare where we were a year ago, like you brought up, I mean, it's easy to see and feel, right, the difference that we have.
Sort of in the same vein, you know, at this point, you've put together a resume where the way too early bracketology stuff is kind of out there. That's not something that this group has had to deal with in the past. New expectations. You know, do you at all sit down your guys and have a conversation about being even keeled and not changing the approach?
Yeah, I mean, I did mention something to them in there that none of the peripheral stuff matters. First of all, pressure is a privilege, right? And you want to be in this situation, and obviously it's so early. I mean, there is so much time to go, but we can't. There's nothing we can't worry or control anything out there except us, right? And getting better. And I know it's cliche-ish and coaches talk, but let's just worry about being our very best, and then whatever happens, happens. So we'll see if we have to talk about that. I've been on both sides of that, right? But I love our leadership within our team, and that's going to make a big difference.